What happens when a group of paranormal investigators start a conversation? You get Ghost to the Coast Paranormal, the podcast. Tales of the dead, the bizarre, and all things supernatural. Join us now as we discuss the April 8th solar eclipse. Hi, and welcome back to Ghost to Coast Paranormal, the podcast. I'm Erin.
I'm Lydia.
I'm Deborah.
And today we are talking all about the April 8th eclipse. So, those of you that are listening to this I don't know when you listen to our show. It could be the day it comes out, could be several days after it comes out. But if you happen to listen to it on Monday, let us know if you watch either way, let us know if you watch the eclipse. But April 8th is the day that this releases. So we're going to talk about some of the theories behind the eclipse, some of the things that are going on, and all of that good stuff. How are you guys doing today?
Hanging in there.
It's been a Monday.
It has been
at
a
least
Monday.
the weather's nice.
It is.
It's been a few Mondays.
Packed in an 8-hour day. It's been a few Mondays.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a nice long weekend that we had, and it was hard getting up this morning out of bed.
Oh yeah, how was your Easter?
It was good. I had a pretty busy weekend. Took my mom out for her birthday on Saturday. We went for sushi.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Her birthday was on St. Patrick's Day, so we just celebrated it a couple weeks late, or a week late, 2 weeks late. And then Sunday we went to my in-laws and did an Easter egg hunt with my nephews and my niece. That was fun. And then because my in-laws live close to my parents, we swung by my parents' house and visited for a little bit. And then we went to the grocery store. How was y'all's Easter?
I went to the grocery store last night too. It was good. We went to my father-in-law's and had some Easter dinner there.
Yeah.
And came home and everybody ran away.
Do y'all eat the traditional Easter dinner or the Italian Easter dinner?
So we normally do a lot of the meats, because for Lent there's no meat. So normally it's like ham, lamb. There's been like squirrel, rabbit, different things over years. I haven't had squirrel, but we've done rabbit and lamb before. We had lamb this year and ham. We're doing a lot smaller now because there's a lot less people than there was previously.
Right.
You eat rabbit?
I don't eat rabbit.
I've never eaten rabbit.
No, I'm not very experimental.
I mean, I'll eat anything once.
No.
I did try some alligator in New Orleans, though.
I do like alligator.
I like alligator. It's got to be fixed right. Not everybody can cook it.
Deborah, how was your Easter?
It started out okay. I went to Daddy's for lunch. We did not have traditional Easter meal.
What'd you have?
We had ribs and rice.
That sounds good too.
It was good. It was. Daddy fixed a big old pot of spare ribs and rice, and then he fixed a pot of ribs with cornbread dumplings in it.
Oh wow!
And I like to take the liquor off the juice as from here people like to call it
non-alcoholic liquor.
Yeah, the non-alcoholic kind. off the ones that he had boiled and put dumplings in and put it on my rice.
Mhm.
And some
She froze like that for a second. Did she freeze for you, Lydia?
Yeah.
the
You froze like this, Deborah.
he had put up some pole beans last summer, so we had some of them too. God, those I could eat my weight in those things.
Uh, yeah, it was a pretty good weekend. I've kind of had a diet change in my life, and so my diet's been. It was nice to kind of indulge this weekend. My diet's
I'm
been,
sure it was.
yeah, yeah. It's my diet. I've lost 5 pounds, Linnea.
What you doing?
Eating salads and chicken.
Gotcha. Yeah.
No
Yeah,
bread.
no
Yeah, I gotta
bread.
change too.
Cut out processed sugars. Haven't had
Sodas.
haven't had sodas in like what, a week and a half now.
Mhm.
So now I don't like soda, but I don't think I can give up my morning coffee. And my morning coffee consists of creamer. I mean,
Yeah,
the reason I drink the coffee is because I like the flavored creamer. So I'm
yeah,
not going to be one of those black drinking coffee people ever.
yeah. I can't stand black coffee. Like it's very bitter to me. But
I can
uh,
drink it black or with creamer in it.
yeah,
Um, I cannot drink it black with sugar. That,
mm,
ugh, that's bad.
Yeah.
But I can do it black with creamer. The
No.
regular non-flavored.
yeah.
I need me some Starbucks, so sugar's not going anywhere. I could try cutting sugar out in other areas, but I'm
Well,
gonna have to
see,
keep
you
the
know what's
Starbucks.
funny about that is, yesterday at my mother-in-law's, my favorite thing is banana pudding. I love banana pudding. But since I have cut out sodas and sugar and all of that, I had some banana pudding yesterday, and it was like it was like so sweet that I was just like
Hmm.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
So it was weird. It was kind of sad because I do like banana pudding.
Yeah, but that's good though, because now at least like you might not crave it next time around
Mhm.
because you're gonna remember like, oh, that was really sweet.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she can use the sugar-free pudding mix as well.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But uh, we started a Food Network episode
Yeah,
again.
we really should just start a whole nother blog about food.
I
Yeah.
know. We
Uh,
always tend to go that way.
y'all let us know in the comments if you would like to see us start another podcast about food, where we share recipes, maybe talk about a different dish each week. I don't know that it would.
Restaurants.
Yeah, I don't know that it would be a weekly podcast, but maybe like a bi-weekly podcast just about food. And so let us know. So let's get down to why we are really here. We are here to talk about the upcoming, or depending on when you're listening to this, the current solar eclipse on April 8th. Um, did you guys catch the last eclipse in
Mhm.
2017?
I did. We
Did you?
actually, and I was thinking about this. I'm like, man, how dumb were we? They were actually doing something at the college near us at the time was East Stroudsburg University, and a bunch of people were all meeting there. And I don't remember if it was like a planned event. Like I don't remember why or how we ended up there. Um, but my husband has a Weldon mask, so we went to the college and we brought Weldon masks with us. And then we went out to eat, and we were actually letting waitresses go outside and use the Weldon mask so they can look at the eclipse too. But I'm like, we brought, younger children there. Like, that probably wasn't the smartest idea. Like, don't look up. What do kids want to do?
Yeah,
So I don't know. Probably, I don't know why we did that. Bad parenting, I guess. But we did participate in it, and we got to actually watch it using the Weldon mask.
that's cool. What about you, Deborah?
Yeah, we went outside at work. We had gotten glasses from somewhere. I don't remember. Somebody came around giving out the glasses,
The
Nice.
library, probably.
and we all went outside and got to watch it.
Yeah. I was working at the library at the time, and we had a whole eclipse party. It was
Nice.
pretty fun, although it was really cloudy that day.
It
You
was
know,
cloudy that day.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
remember
funny
that.
too because I also remember an eclipse when I was a child and I went to Catholic school and they brought us all outside to watch the eclipse. A whole school full of children
Look
to
up.
go outside. Yeah, like I don't know, man. People need to rethink their choices. It's like a couple hundred kids outside. Don't look
Yeah.
up. I think they used to make us make so you could make the thing where you got to look through the hole. Like I think they give us those.
Yeah. Or
So
like
it's still not wise.
the box.
Yeah, something we made,
Yeah.
but I'm not buying that 100%. That best protection.
Definitely not. I watched the last one. That was a busy day and I was just ready for it to be over with because working at the library, we had gotten like like probably about, I don't even know the number. We got at least 1,000 eclipse glasses. You all right over there, Deborah?
I'm sorry. Jeff went to go let Shine in, and he's standing there at the door open, and Shine's looking at him. And Jeff's arguing with the dog about his grapes. He told him, he said, "You're not getting my grapes. You can come in and lay down, and you can stay outside, but you can get my grapes."
Um, but I remember we had like at least a couple thousand um eclipse glasses that we got at the library. So like multiple different, like we had to split between the different branches. And constantly for like 2 months leading up to the eclipse, we had people coming in. You got the eclipse, like it was like they were crackheads. Like they're like, you got the eclipse glasses. I need the eclipse glasses. Yeah,
Glass,
they were twitching for them.
glasses.
And yeah, they were twitching for them. And then we ran out of them really quick. And people are like, well, where can I get them? Where can I get the eclipse glasses? I need them. And so we had to send them. So for like 2 months leading up to this eclipse in 2017, we had to, it was exhausting. It was an exhausting 2 months because people were just coming in for the glasses and then getting ready for the party. It was a great party.
Are
But
they giving them out again this year?
I don't think they are because we weren't in totality last year. But I think we're
Pretty at
actually higher this year.
83%.
We're higher this year than we were the last time, right?
I don't know what you were last time, but I know
Uh-uh.
they're saying South Carolina's at 83% max
Yeah.
coverage.
I think last time it was like 70 something, I want to say. But so yeah, last time the eclipse went from east to west, right? And then this time around it's going from south to north, making a big old X right in the center of the country. So, have you guys actually heard any of the conspiracy theories surrounding
Oh
these?
my God! Yeah.
What is your favorite one so far?
Hmm.
And I should say, everybody listening, this conversation will probably get into some religion, probably get into some nonsense, probably get into a bunch of randoms. But this is just for entertainment purposes only.
And
I
not
don't
the
know that
feel or
I
thought
don't
about
know that I have a favorite. It got to the point where there's so many out there. I would, like, if I was on TikTok or Facebook and it started, I'd just.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Lydia?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a favorite. Um, I mean, I think the funniest thing probably is like they're like, oh, like another one won't happen for 400 years, or they only happen every 400 years. Then why did we have one in 2017? Like, why do I remember one when I was a child? Like, these are not once in a lifetime things.
Well,
No.
Yeah, the last one before 2017 was 79, I believe.
No, there was
And
some solar eclipse when I was in school, and I was only born in 77.
oh,
I mean, maybe it
I don't
wasn't a
remember
total
one.
eclipse.
Well, I think the way they're talking is totality the way it is. What was
Right.
that? What was that?
He sees this in my hand.
Oh, I think the way they're talking is the totality of it. And they're talking the way that it like crisscrosses. Um Apparently one's never done that before. Um but there's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding it. I think my favorite, I don't know, like my favorite that I've heard so far is is probably that they're going they are going to use the eclipse as a distraction,
Mm-hmm.
well, just like everything else that they do, as a distraction over here, and then something's gonna happen over here.
Of
Um,
course.
I've heard a lot of conversation about that's when they're gonna use that for Project Bluebeam, which we touched on a little bit in a previous episode, but we didn't really dive into it. But and I'm probably not going to dive into it right now because I do want to save that for a full episode. But so those of you that aren't aware, is Project Bluebeam is essentially um a show, not a TV show, but like a hologram light show type stuff put on by the government. um gotta gotta put that out there that it's just entertainment purposes. Again.
Well, FYI, just so you know, it does actually say on NASA's website, Science in the Shadows, NASA selects 5 experiments for the 2024 total solar eclipse. So there is going to be things happening. And that's right on
Ooh.
NASA's website.
And you know the holographics have already started.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So and then so that's probably one of my favorites. And we had talked about this before, that currently the vibe of the world just feels very weird anyway.
That it does.
And I mean it still does. Like I still stand strong to that.
No, and
Um
it's funny though because I actually New Year's Eve this year, I was by myself and I actually started crying when the ball dropped. Um because I knew it was going to be a bad year. Like there wasn't any question about it. Like I had an overwhelming sense of this is going to be a terrible year.
yeah. See, I had a sense that for me personally it was going to be a year of change. But there was still that looming in the back of my head that's like something's coming.
Right.
I couldn't put a finger on it. Something's coming. But anyway, so like you have that conspiracy theory of, the martial law and Project Bluebeam, because if the country's in martial law, you can't hold an election,
Mm-hmm.
and it is election season.
Well,
Um
and the one that I mean, people are kind of like that guy changed his name and he's running for president. He changed his name to literally anybody else. Did you hear about that?
no.
There's like a Texas teacher or whatever that's so upset with like what's going on. He's running for president now, and he legally changed his name to literally anybody else. Google it.
I ain't heard that.
That's funny.
That is funny, but boy, what does that mean? You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
seriously.
Literally anybody else is who he wants.
imagine
Anybody.
changing your name to literally anybody else.
Anybody.
Hi, I'm Deborah. Who are you? I'm literally anybody else.
and I endorse this message. Oh god.
I
Could
wonder
you
if it's like your
imagine?
first name is literally anybody and your last name is else. Like, how does it, or like your first name's literally,
Literally,
or
middle
first
name
name
anybody.
literally, middle name anybody, last name else.
Oh my
I
lord.
mean, yeah, it's um another theory that I have heard is that the eclipse is supposed to trigger the rapture. So this is where we kind of get into the biblical. Like I know in
All right.
in the Bible that it says that nobody knows the time or the day. So I don't personally think that the rapture will be triggered by April 8th because no man can predict, right?
Or could that be the start of
Or,
like Book of Revelations,
or the yeah.
the beginning of
Uh
the end?
I mean, if you think about it though, I mean,
The
if
Bible
you
does give you it does give you signs.
clues, yeah.
Yes.
Well, so one of the ones that I saw and I kind of was like, okay, well, y'all, I have to tell y'all this. I told my mom, and I think I told y'all in the group chat or the podcast chat, but I had told my mom, she said she's going out of town to, for totality, to see the totality
Okay.
of the eclipse. I said, oh my God, Mom, have you not heard what's been going on with this eclipse? She goes, what's been going on? I said, it's the end of the world's coming. I said, things are gonna pop off. Like it's gonna be crazy. She looks at me, she goes, well, thank God I'm not a conspiracy theorist. And then yesterday, y'all, I was talking because we stopped by my parents' house and I was talking with my mom and she said, while we're gone, can you stop by and play with the cat for a little bit? And I said, sure. You know, so I said, sure. And she goes, and if the world goes to shit while we're gone, can you come get her and take her back to your house and just put her in your guest room? I said, okay. And then she's sitting there, she gets real quiet for a second. She sits there and she goes, should I buy an extra bag of food just in case for her?
Hmm.
I
Listen,
said,
this
yeah.
not a conspiracy theorist.
I said, yeah. I want you to text me. We always have this, it, it's kind of a running joke, but it kind of isn't at the same time. Anytime my mom and I go somewhere, like drive up to North Carolina to see family or anywhere we go, and it's just the two of us, we'll be driving and we'll go, okay, so what happens if an EMP goes off right now? What would we do? And it was just, it sparks interesting conversation. But it was funny to me that she was just like, should I get an extra bag of cat food just in case?
My first thought was, how's Blanche going to feel about this?
Yeah.
Um, I told my mom, I said, yes, get an extra bag of cat food. I'll fatten your cat up and feed my dog.
Oh,
I'm joking, of course. I would never do that.
No, you better not.
I would never do that. I don't like cats, but I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's just cruel. I'm old enough to be your mama. I'll straight your legs. Don't do that.
Mom, if you're listening, I'm just kidding. It's not gonna happen. Um,
well,
so
so let's talk a little bit more about this biblical, the
yes.
rapture thing. So,
Yeah.
what? Tell me a little bit more about that.
So with so some people have said that the way the eclipse is happening, the way the eclipse is happening with it, it's making an X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
Yep.
much right in the same area. But it also makes what are I can't remember what the Hebrew letters are that people are pointing out. The
Yes, I know what you're talking
the
about.
Tav and the
It's the first letter and the last letter.
first, so the Alpha and the Omega, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, so the previous
Eclipse.
eclipse passed through several towns that was called Salem, as in Jerusalem. And this is just the biblical connection for it. So several towns called Salem. And now this current eclipse that's happening is crossing 7 or 8 towns called Nineveh in the United States.
7.
Is it 7?
Well, so if you listen to TikTok, there'll be discrepancies. So if you in the articles will tell you some people are saying 7, some are saying 8, and some are saying 9.
See,
However, it's actually only 2.
Really?
Yes, if they had a scientist like show out the maps and whatever, there's actually only 2 towns in the USA that it's going to cross over by that name. One's in Ohio and one's in Indiana. So that's why they're saying it's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit. And then they were saying that one is called Rapture, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just weird. But then going back to the biblical side of things, they're saying that April 8th is supposed to trigger the 3 days of darkness. So, essentially what that is literally 3 days of darkness.
So
You're not
are they saying like once the eclipse goes dark, that's it? It's not going to come back?
for 3 days.
So they don't think that it's going to be like, so for South Carolina, it's supposed to start here at 1:49 p.m. It's supposed to be at a max at 3:07 p.m. and it's supposed to end at 4:23 p.m. So they're saying once it hits max, it's just going to stay that way.
Yeah, like once it goes dark, it's going to go dark. But according to the 3 days of darkness is from I guess from the plagues of Egypt. Now I'm not like super into the Bible. I don't know different books and I can't quote you Bible quotes.
The one about Jonah is the book of Matthew, I believe.
Oh yeah. And that's another thing. Okay. I'm going to start jumping around here in a minute. So the 3 days of darkness, essentially what I understood it to be is 3 days, 3 nights. Nothing can be seen. There will be pestilence. This Wikipedia says, the quote, the air will be laden with pestilence.
Now, is that power darkness? Does that include in power outages and everything? So we're completely dark.
Yeah. And essentially, it tells people to stay in your homes, pray, and all of the enemies of God, of the church, whether it's known or unknown, will basically die over that 3 days. And then that's when things start popping off, there's no, apparently there's no lights. Like, you won't have lights, you won't have even candles unless they are made of blessed wax. These candles will not burn. Nothing, there will be nothing. If you look outside during these 3 days, that's it. You're done.
So I'm supposed to keep my windows covered and not look outside?
Yeah, don't look outside. Don't let the dogs out.
I have an alarm set on my phone to remind me to take the dogs out at 1:15 that day, so I can get them out. Because, I shared it on Facebook because you don't think about the dogs going out there and looking up and not getting blind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have an alarm set, take the dogs out before it happens.
I'm supposed to keep my dogs in my house for 3 days and not let them go outside to pee and poop?
Well, no, we're going to be realistic and say this is probably going to be over by 4:23 p.m. So realistically, keep them inside for like a 4-hour period.
But for entertainment purposes only, I got some puppy pads if you want them.
You know what these 2 mongrels will do with puppy pads?
God, just
I'd have
put
little
them in.
pieces of cotton and plastic all over my house.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. And I mean, another thing that I saw was, you know, kicking it off April 8th, that is the beginning. Like apparently um according to the prophecy, whatever it may be, um it will the I can't remember exactly how it was said, but the earth will go dark and it will happen under the under the whale or in the belly of a whale or something like that.
That's Jonah gets swallowed by the whale.
Jonah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the
I can't be being hemmed up for 3 days here because the almanac tells me on the 9th and the 10th I can plant my maters.
Well, I did read that they used to use the eclipse to plant stuff that flowers were said to be brighter and better if you planted during eclipses. So you might want us to go outside and plant. Just, be like bird box and cover your eyes. You're gonna have to do it blind.
so so the eclipse actually falls under the star system or the constellation of the whale. Um so there's a lot of things that people are saying lines up
Well,
biblically.
biblically, you're missing one. So one of the other ones going around in TikTok, and I don't find it date specific, but they are saying like real legit life. In April, this is supposed to happen, but the TikTok is saying on April 8th that it's going to happen. There are actually two broods of cicadas that are
Oh
coming out,
yeah.
and it's going to make millions. A couple articles say trillions of cicadas that are all just going to happen in April. Now, of course, talking Bible, cicadas are locusts.
Yeah.
So there you go. We got Revelation starting up here.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
we've always called them locusts.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Little cicadas, they're loud. God, they're loud. But yeah, like that's happening. That happens. They only emerge like the different broods only emerge every 17 years. And this time they're like all coming out at once. But which is I tell you, like so the way the world is currently compared to the signs that are given in the book of Revelation, it's very mirroring. It's very weird. So, another thing that I heard was so you get the solar eclipse that happens. That is the warning sign that the end is nigh, right? That's not the end is nigh day, but that is the warning that, hey, you know what? You might want to get right because things are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you have 40 days. At the end of the 40 days, they say May 19th is the 40th day. That's when things are really popping off. So I mean, it's just the things that are going on in the world right now. It's very weird how some of it does match up with the Book of Revelation. But I mean, I forgot about the cicadas,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just weird. It's
Well,
just
and not
weird.
for nothing, I was watching another video that was actually, so NASA was saying they had the guy speaking, and he says that NASA says unusual things start to happen. As it gets dark out, they're saying to really observe and listen to what's going on. They said you will notice that once it gets dark, the birds will stop singing, roosters will start crowing, crickets will start chirping, giraffes start galloping, and they actually want people to listen, observe, and report back to them the things that they're seeing because they expect unusual things to happen.
Well, I would probably shit my pants if I saw a giraffe galloping, to be honest. I do
I could
love
see a giraffe gallivanting down Main Street, Conway.
right. I do love a giraffe. Giraffes are one of my favorite animals. Giraffes and primates. Those are my favorite animals.
I like a good elephant
Yeah. Oh, I do
and
too.
owls.
But
That was weird because that happened as you opened your mouth and it looked like that sound came out of you, Deborah.
It probably sounds like that sometimes. I like them all. I'm an animal lover. I'll love
Yeah.
anything that'll stand there and let me.
Yeah, but you got a spirit animal. Everybody does. Mine's the owl.
Oh, I don't even know what mine is.
I don't know. How do I find it? Ask Google.
I think you just feel it.
Feel it.
I've been drawn to snow owls since I was little.
I'm scared of
I'm probably like a capuchin then.
Oh, those are adorable.
I'm a capuchin. My spirit animal is a capuchin.
My dad had it.
It's probably a praying mantis.
Why do you decapitate your
mate?
do you decapitate your mate after you breed?
I could.
Just those wishful thinking.
Oh Lord. So let's kind of segue into some other theories that are happening with this eclipse.
We're going biblical or non-biblical?
I don't know because I just lost my train of thought because I sneezed so hard. What have you got? You tell us what you got.
So some of the things that they're talking about with these warnings, so they're saying, one small town mayor is already calling a disaster alert and why, and that the National Guard's going to be called in and blah, blah, blah. But when you read about it, it's just because they've told people, and I've heard it on the news myself, if you can go to one of the areas that are in this path of total darkness, do it. If you can book a plane ticket, they're telling you to do it because it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime thing. So now all these areas are going to have so many tourists that they're not used to doing that they're calling in the National Guard to help direct traffic and whatnot. They're telling you to go to the grocery store to be prepared because the traffic is going to be horrendous. So it's not that something's going to happen that you need groceries. It's you might not be able to get to the store because of the influx of tourists.
Interesting.
Just like, there was well, then why are they closing schools? So, like, I'm on the Today Show website, and it's because, like I said earlier,
traffic.
I don't want the liability of children looking up and going blind. So let them stay home, and if they go blind, it's their parents' fault.
What did you do today at school? I looked at the sun and now I can't see. Guess I can't do my homework.
Yeah, right. That's probably my biggest fear for the day. Like, whatever the conspiracy theories are, I'm not thinking about. My biggest fear is that my kids are going to be boneheads and try to look up, and they're both out right in the middle of it. She's coming home from school, and he's got an orthodontist appointment at 2:00.
Oh, gosh.
So they're both going to be out on the road while this is happening.
Dentist appointment at 4.
I'll be working.
4:23 ends, so at least you're, like, on the tail end there.
So, as long as I wear shades and don't stare at the sky, I should be okay, right?
Yeah.
Well, you won't be able to wear shades once it gets dark. I thought about actually going on Amazon and ordering them the glasses, but I don't think they'd wear them anyway because, whatever I say is not the right thing, regardless.
But as long as I don't look up towards the sun, I should be okay.
Don't look up, you'll be fine.
Yeah, don't look directly
like this.
I mean, you can still look normal, just don't, like, stare directly into the big ball of light.
Have you met me?
Maybe we better get her glasses.
Oh, gosh.
So maybe this is my favorite one then.
Okay.
Of course, The Simpsons did predict this.
Yes.
I don't know what episode it is. I'd have to look, but you see it. Lisa's screaming, "We're doomed! We're doomed!"
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let me find
yes.
that episode.
I heard about that one, and that was also the same. Was that the same episode as the Illuminati episode?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. But yeah, essentially a big the eclipse happens, and as soon as the eclipse happens, the world just goes to shit. Like it's the end of the world.
Well, I mean, you've got people that believe it's going to be the end of the world.
Oh, I know. I wonder, okay, I seriously wonder how many people are going to like lock themselves in a basement or like a bomb shelter or stuff like that because they thoroughly believe that the end of the world is happening on April 8th.
I'm sure there's some out there.
Yeah. Like that's crazy to me. And like it kind of reminds me a little bit about, have y'all seen that movie back in the day, Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Like they go,
No,
have
Deborah,
you
you
seen
gotta
it,
watch it.
Deborah?
Mm-mm.
It has Alicia Silverstone,
Yeah.
Brenda Fraser.
So essentially what happens is it's like the 1960s, they had just gone to the moon, right? And everybody was afraid of, the bombs. Um and Christopher Walken plays the dad, and he builds this underground shelter. And they get a warning or something that, something's happening.
And it's not just like a little bitty shelter, Deborah. He like literally built like their house underground.
Yeah. Well, he takes his pregnant wife down into the shelter, and they stay in there for like 20 years. They have the kid, and the kid grows up with the mom and the dad, and like they have like a whole grocery store set up in this shelter. And he has to go, they're running out of something, and he has to go up to make sure that the son has to go up to make sure that the earth is clean, and the radiation is gone and all of that. Well, he goes up, and nothing happened. um so he's up there, he's like, oh, these people are very, and it's the 90s, and these people are very weird. It's a great movie.
It really is.
Blast
But
from the
Blast
past.
from the
Uh,
Past.
okay.
But
I remember to watch that.
But yeah, I mean, there's just so many things. I did hear that there was going to be a 2024, and this is not really eclipse related, but 2024 there is supposed to be a influx of solar flares. Um and several of them have the potential to become CMEs, coronal mass
Now,
ejections.
on that note, they're saying that since uh where did I write it? Since 1904, people have been having dreams about Nashville being on fire, set on fire by a ball of fire.
Yeah.
And they're saying that that has to do with the eclipse now.
I think I have heard that during the eclipse there will be a CME. But I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. I actually read a book. I read a book not too long ago by one of my favorite authors. It's called 48 Hours, and it's about literally 2 days leading up to a mass fatality, coronal mass ejection. Um, it was pretty good. But yeah, they're saying that CME is going to happen during the eclipse, but also they're saying that more solar flares are going to happen in 2024 because the way, I guess, the phase that the sun is in right now, it's just spitting all that energy out.
Now I
Um,
saw something the other day. Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Saturday. I was actually on the phone with Candy,
Uh-huh.
and I seen something that looked like it was weird, almost like a meteor. It was daytime. It was
Yeah.
almost like a meteor, and it was leaving that white tail.
Oh, wow.
And it was I don't it was hard to explain. It was just weird looking. I've never seen something that looked like that before.
Well, they also have said that the Devil's Comet is supposed to pass by Earth during the eclipse and be visible too. But don't look into the sky.
Yeah,
So
don't.
there's one more thing that I was reading. Now this is both on TikTok and some real stuff. That the upcoming solar eclipse on April 8th, 2024, has sparked concerns about potential catastrophic events, including seismic activity and natural disasters. So, based on that path of the eclipse and whatever, they're saying that it goes over the fault line in New Madrid, Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying that they think the eclipse is going to stir up the fault line to cause earthquakes there. So the last one was in 1811.
Hmm.
It says 3 major earthquakes hit New Madrid fault line within a year, with the largest being an 8.8 magnitude. The force of the earthquakes caused the river Mississippi to run backwards, created Real Foot Lake, and devastated thousands of acres of forest. Prophecies and visions, including a solar eclipse, precede the earthquakes, adding to their significance.
Is this eclipse what is supposed to start off the demise of San Francisco?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard about that.
What, like falling in the ocean?
No, not falling in the ocean. Destroying it and it being uninhabitable for like 5 years, I think it was.
There are movies I need to go watch before Monday. Like, I can relate to this because you know how I love that.
Watch the Greenfield movie. Is it Greenfield with uh Gerard Butler's in it?
When I Google that, it's still just saying places to watch it in California.
Ooh. Okay. So I just Googled, right? Because
Google.
you had mentioned the tectonic plates, right? So I Googled the big Charleston earthquake. Happened August 31st, 1886. 1886. Then Google the solar eclipse. I asked Google if there was a solar eclipse in 1886, and there was.
And the last one that I told you about in New Madrid in 1811, there was an eclipse. That's why they're saying
But
that they're
guess when
associated.
there was an eclipse? August 29th, 1886. The earthquake in Charleston was August 31st, 1886.
Well, they're saying something about the eclipse triggers them. It's like seismic. I mean, and you know, like we feel stuff when the moon does stuff. Like, why wouldn't the
Yeah,
Earth feel stuff? Like, I can always tell, especially when I was running Airbnbs. I would message this girl I work with all the time, and I'd be like, "It's a full moon tonight, right?" Like, I could tell every single time there was a full moon just because of other people's craziness.
right.
Like, I could feel it.
I don't know. But yeah.
So here, they actually have a little bit of an explanation here. So it says, could the alignment of the moon really be a key to unlocking when large earthquakes will occur? Starting at 10:15 a.m. on the West Coast, millions of Americans will begin to take in the first eclipse. Let's skip over that. So it's while the eclipse itself is unlikely to cause an earthquake, the increased tidal stresses during a new moon, which is required for the solar eclipse, could slightly increase the likelihood of a large earthquake. So
Huh.
it's not this actual solar eclipse, it's increased tidal stresses during a new moon. And that's from Tumblr.net.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Well, y'all let us know if you'll be watching the earthquake. Excuse me, the Freudian slip.
Oh, Lord. That was big. That might have been bad right there.
Uh, let us know if you're going to be watching the solar eclipse on April 8th, or if you are listening to this on a Monday, let us know, or Tuesday, whenever you're listening.
Or if the power goes out, they won't hear it ever.
Yeah, and if you guys never hear this, you never hear it. Oh well. But yeah, I personally think that it's just going to be an eclipse. I'll be sitting in at my little desk all day though, anticipating, like, if the power goes out, I'm out. I'm done. I'm I'm going home. If the lights go, or like if it goes dark for 3 days, I'm closing my eyes and driving home.
Don't do that.
Because
Put
I
your
will.
visor, down. This way you can't see up. You can just see straight ahead.
No, like if it goes to 3 days of darkness and you're
Yeah.
not supposed to go outside, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna live in my office for 3 days and then have
I'm
to come
saying,
back.
get home. Just put your visor like this.
Yeah, if it goes dark outside, I'm going home. But
To the hills, oh, to the hills, oh.
that's it. That's it. So, y'all got anything else for us?
Oh, you got me going down a rabbit hole now. I'm over here Googling when is the next earthquake due in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh gosh.
I don't
I mean,
know,
Missouri's
but
far enough away.
Oh,
largest
Lord.
hurricane ever hit in the Carolinas.
Hugo?
No, the one that's supposed to be coming here.
Oh, the Category 6.
When's
Yep.
that?
That's not even a possible thing. Like the wind speeds would have to be like over
Is it
like
24?
50 miles an hour is what it said.
Is it supposed to
550
be this
miles
year?
an hour.
I sent y'all the TikTok.
Okay.
You know we wouldn't be here if it was 550 miles per hour. That is definitely not wind zone 2 regulated.
Well, listen, they keep saying all the coast is going to disappear into the ocean. So, I mean, who knows
Oh,
what leads to
gosh.
those things
Oh,
happening?
what? The what? Linnea?
But the coast is going to go into the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, the entire east coast is going to just kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Why do you think they're starting to cancel everybody's flood insurance around here?
on
Seriously.
on that note, good luck everyone.
We hope to see y'all next Monday.
We hope to see you next week. If you make it through the eclipse, let us know.
We have power ever again.
Yeah, if the power grid doesn't get knocked out and the world doesn't go to shit, we'll be back. And
If the
until
locusts
next
don't eat us
time.
alive.
Oh gosh. Yeah, seriously though, y'all enjoy the eclipse. Be safe out there. Don't look directly at the sun because even though it's covered, it's still bright. And let us know in the comments for real, if you want us to start a food podcast. And all things food. That's it. Not even like spooky food, just food.
Some people might be.
We might even can do some trying things.
Oh, like a Bean Boozled type deal.
I'm not eating any liver.
Ain't doing a liver either, so.
Oh, Lord. All right, y'all. Well, there y'all have it. April 8th eclipse. And until next time, y'all come back now, you hear?
Bye, y'all.